That is... Toby, that's abysmal.
Yeah,
Toby, I've got to scroll really far down to find...
Speaking as a Dro fanatic, I am really ashamed she has been degraded in such a way.
You put the word Dro and Fnatic together, two things that aren't winning here.
Oh, I think I got Shiva. Do I have Shiva's set? I got Shiva's mouse sensitivity. Alright, there we go. Now we're good. Wonderful. Oh, Yapso's already out and scouting.
That's a Dro mid.
It is a Dro mid.
Okay, it's mid one. Of course, we should expect this.
Yapso just won the game, apart from the fact he went for Impalance as opposed to Mana Burn, so he can't win the mid. But catches out dogfights while he's still got 2 Observer Wards on him.
That's another thing. I was going to check the stats of Earth Spirit. I really wanted to know...
I know VP have had some really bad runs with Earth Spirit, and they played Lil
Earth Spirit
a lot, so his win rate's gonna be abysmal too.
25% over 12 games. Rough.
Wow.
And he just lost the game too. So it just got worse, Tobes.
Yeah. However, at least the outfits are very good. I'm liking that Death Shadow cape.
You're crazy, man. You know who's owning, though?
Who's owning?
Dazzle.
Dazzle? How
Dazzle's
many?
not losing.
What's our sample size?
6-0?
6-0? Alright, well, OG, I know we're running him earlier today. You cast a game earlier of him.
See my boy Dazzle, don't at me.
Does Puppy actually... I think Puppy has just found a way to blend with the rock and Roshan. He just put half of his body inside the rock. And again, a contest. I've seen this, like, okay, maybe this is another like hidden stat to try and check out, but I can say for a certainty that 75% of my games have involved Radiant pushing up and taking out that dire rune, but normally they've grabbed all 3. In this case, it didn't happen. In July, I was able to get the offlane one.
I doubt your number of 75%.
75% is accurate. 75% is accurate. Because like Sint and I were talking about it, like it just keeps bloody happening. But I've only cast like 6 series, so it's fine.
So we got a dual lane on dual lane. This is what mid lane has become due to the 5 creep change.
Is it just because there's enough experience to go around now,
yeah,
or you just have to fight to
definitely
fight for it?
It's just so much actually. If you get any sort of advantage in the mid lane, it just snowballs like crazy, right? So if one guy's gonna come to help one guy win the lane, another guy comes to win the lane for them, or even things out. So instead of having like a straight up 1v1, and I'm trying to keep the salt out of my voice, mid is turned into this like weird 2v2 mid only thing.
You actually just hate the fact that you can no longer just be alone and win your lane yourself.
I mean, it's cool.
it's so not by that tone.
You can't judge me.
You're judging yourself on your own comments.
Oh,
Yabsaw, nice rolling boulder. It's only a level 1. Yabsaw, he's so low and actually slowed down by the Orb of Venom. Courier comes in. He won't be able to do anything to stay alive.
The mid dual lane on the dire side beats the Radiant dual lane on the dire side.
Game is done. But as a Dro Ranger in the early stages, you know what, this actually makes it even worse for a Dro Ranger. She's splitting experience. At least in the old days of like our TC06 mid Dro Ranger, like he would at least get all the solo experience.
Yeah. But to be fair, like if all jokes aside, if he doesn't do this, like then the Dro's just gonna get bullied.
Yep.
He's not gonna survive against a Brewmaster plus Earth Spirit. Those are 2 heroes that don't really care. Like Cicada, the more that I think about this brew pick, I was surprised by it, but once you see it, it's quite nice because what does Dro do, right? You can't really right-click him, it's not very efficient. This hero has a poor man shield. At the same time, he's been spamming Drunken Haze. Very low mana cost, 25 mana to make somebody miss 70%.
Actually, he doesn't care, there's no metamorphosis. This isn't gonna become anything. Can Yamsar and Dogfights just have this roll in one location? They've moved from fighting around the bottom rune area to fighting around the top rune area, and both times they've done the fighting, there's been no rune to grab.
Yeah, it's some weird Dragon Ball Z thing.
The side fight?
They just like fight upwards, yeah.
Well, let's cross away from like Goku versus Frieza, and we'll watch Trunks going up against, I don't know, a brick wall.
No, dude, it's gonna be like, it's like Krillin.
It's Krillin's battle.
It's like Krillin against a slightly large bear.
Krillin loses.
Krillin always loses. Like the bad guy just has a casual bear, but Krillin's still struggling.
Goku rocks over. It's like, all right, I'm here, and now you've given me my inspiration. Krillin's like, you're always gonna have that. Like,
Somebody's got to die for the cause.
exactly, just to give Goku the inspiration. Super's gonna die for this cause. The Maledict pop, the last one would do it anyway, but Puppy ensures it with an attack.
Yeah. You think that makes Paparazzi mad? He's just like, I'll get revenge for you, buddy.
Metamorphosis. Super Terra level.
Oh, good times.
Damn. Problem is, it's going to take us about 5 minutes to actually get to the fight point. If we're going to use the Dragon Ball Z analogy.
No, this game's gonna be fast. It's gonna be aggressive.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, you've got a Dro strat. I guess you do have a Dusa, one of the slower heroes, but at the same time, like, you have Nature's Prophet, Dro, Dusa. You've got fast heroes.
Yabsor's in trouble. Getting kicked in July. Welcome to first nighttime. And Yabsor, well, he's got Spike Carapace. That's the only thing that will help.
Oh, Roshan!
Oh, no. He's not going to punch him, though. Rolling Boulder going through Roshan.
Ah, that would have been so hype if Roche for some reason just... What was it? Was it when he Boulder Smashed?
Yep.
He... Oh,
The Rolling Boulder, I think it was, actually.
that would have been hilarious if Roshan just popped up, got the last hit. But at the same time, Yapsor...
Does he still clap when you have 3 heroes around after he's given up aggro?
I don't know. I don't think he's
automatic
given up
clap?
aggro. I think he runs back.
Oh,
Okay.
the stun. That's not enough.
Yeah. I mean, laning-wise, it's still going okay for Secret.
Oh, Paparazzi starts his TP. Puppy, the paralyzing cask. Oh, all right, global time. Follow the skull. Follow the skull. I think I've got this right. It's going all the way top. Have I got it? I see the shadow. I'm following the shadow. See the shadow on the ground?
Yeah, I see it.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Bunk. Oh, he got a... No, he didn't get a creep with it.
I was looking for the CS too.
That would have been so cool.
Value cask.
Calculated.
So they've switched in July now down to the bottom lane. This is going to allow Prophet as well as Witch Doctor just to beat the crap out of this tower. Dro also turned on the Aura. And with Yabsor holding in the trees and Observer What Up, they know in July is alone. Now they realize he's got friends as Dogfights walks underneath the obs. But they've done what they wanted to. Rotator support down. Catapult comes in, so they're beating the crap out of the tower even harder. This catapult shouldn't be able to hit this hard. We saw a combination earlier today from EG. Okay, goodbye, Night Stalker. Wow, he's actually going in for this. Dogfight's trying to actually save in July. He can move over and Shrine. Body blocked slightly by Cicada.
Oh,
but
Cicada
Dogfight's already
wants
going to go
something.
down.
Puppy doesn't have a TP, though. Misses the clap.
He needs time. He needs mana. 75 is what he needs. In July into the tree line.
Puppy.
He can't take to the sky. Puppy's still
Puppy.
in the trees. Keep it juking. Yabsor's nearby.
Oh,
He's got a stun available. In
there's no way.
And the stun Puppy's going to survive. He's out.
Kezu, in the meanwhile, does manage to kill Super. He's going to go down for it, but still, that bottom juke. Oh. Oh, that kills my soul.
A god amongst men.
Oh, that kills my soul. Puppies. Never count the old man out.
I mean, old. He ain't that old.
Relative.
Dogfights, rolling boulder forward, able to get the kick, can't get the rolling boulder properly, and the gust pushing back the Broodlings, who start their attack onto mid one. He's got 10 1 charges, so a lot to fight with. A quick little send up. Dro Ranger still now 13 1 charges. And back into the safety of the tower. Oh no! He brought in the Earth Broodling a little bit too close with a Maledict on him. Kick has to create space, but Spine Carapace also stunning up Dogfights. Brew will get back into the safety of his own tier 1 tower, and now mid lane turns into tri-lane on tri-lane, making Blitz even happier.
Oh, it's the best. I love seeing all these heroes.
Yabsor will soak up the experience on bottom, unless In July wants to kill. Oh, okay, unless In July does kill him. He takes to the skies and over the hills, and goodbye Yabsor. Thought he could just soak up the creep wave and a half that was there.
That is a pretty significant kill too, because he's going to be able to protect this catapult. Somebody has to move down for this. Most likely going to be Kezu.
It's Medusa.
Okay, the Deuce is going to come, try to save her tower. Because there's 2 full creep waves pushing into this. There's absolutely no way that you just give this up for free.
Yep.
But at the same time, you've got to pressure Paparazzi. And Yapsor's just had the roughest game so far.
Yeah.
Makes up 3 out of his team's 4 deaths. At the same time, his team is taking towers around the map. So it's going to alleviate some of that pain.
Just give him 1 lane to get his level 6. That's all he's really hoping for. And then he can synergize with the Nature's Prophet.
He is really far behind, though, when it comes to XP.
Yeah.
Still level 3 at 8 minutes in the game.
How they look like overall, though, there's only 400 the difference between IGV and Secret.
Of
And
course.
Gold is about 1500 the way of Secret.
Yeah.
They
I mean-
are, of course, 2 towers up.
It's largely going to come, like you said, from the towers. And Secret, they're just going to continue the assault. Wherever the ENP goes, they can always rotate heroes down into. This Medusa should back up, just farm the jungle. Paparazzi going to make the rotation out. Sensing the pressure from this top wave.
Super hiding in the trees.
Yeah.
He believes he can get... He doesn't have a TP scroll. He's got smoke, but he actually has to stay here. Dogfights is pushing down the mid lane, but mid one's happy with this. Okay, maybe he's not. He's terrified that someone's here.
Yeah.
That's so far back from the mid lane when an ES just by himself is farming.
I mean, his team is pushing out top, and nobody's showing on the map right now.
Yeah.
And now In July is going to come over. They're going to
bringing in
realize.
Yasuo.
Yeah. This is a level 4 Nyx Assassin. I'm not sure if they can make a kill happen. Maybe if they get the silence off first. But I think he's more here just to protect the dive. But it doesn't look like IGV are very willing to dive anyways. It's Paparazzi just farming it up.
It's that horrible thing, right? If you dive under a tower as an MP, just TP in, turn on Stone Gaze, and you have to run away.
Yep.
And without the damage of the Terror Blade, you're not going to be able to win. Like, the Brewmaster Split, like, just the old day, like, if you go like 3-4 years ago, Brewmaster Split didn't get a kill, it was the worst thing in the world. Like, we saw Brewmaster run in underneath the tower and barely survive.
It was played earlier today, right?
There was one. OG played it.
Did they win?
They did.
That was the game that
had
Newbie
the-
accidentally rammed an Alchemist?
That I'm not certain of.
Yeah, that's what I read from Jack anyways.
Yeah, I know I think I was casting at the time, so I just read up on it later.
Ah, I see. They're going to make the rotation in the bottom. This is a good kill. If they can get aggressive on the MP, take the tower, they're going to have this entire bottom area to
The
farm.
Observer was in July.
Ooh.
It may be enough that MP... In fact, he's already
They need
taken
to
all the
pre-TP
mana
people here.
away from Paparazzi. That TP hasn't come in yet. Stone Gaze will turn on, and Brewmaster starts to split underneath the tower. Witch Doctor paralyzing Cask will hold the Brewlings in position, and Kezu wraps around from the northern side, catching out the ES, who's forced a rolling boulder away. Puppy stunned up. These Brewlings still really problematic,
not
but
dying.
Yabsaw able to get the sun, create space. Dogfights comes in, gets the kick, and finally puts the captain down. But you killed off a Witch Doctor. That's all you got for your Brewmaster ulti, and you lost your Terror Blade, and Brewmaster still forced to fight. He's got a regeneration room, but needs the space to actually use it. Beating into
12
Kezu, but doesn't have enough life. Here comes the Mystic Snake once more. Another stun, hiding in the trees, but Cicada will go down. The Catapult again, unable to kill off that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. 2 cores for 1 support, and Super almost dies to mid 1 on top.
That is such an awkward rotation. They had to force that. They moved the Brewmaster down, but he doesn't quite have Blink Dagger, and they wasted so much time trying to kill Puppy. They spin the Medusa up into the air. They all in on Puppy. He doesn't even quite die until the very end. But at that point, you've all in'd. You've traded a Brewmaster for not a tower, for a level 5 Witch Doctor who's quite underfarmed. Congratulations. Team Secret's going to be incredibly happy with that. They got so much space out of that. Mid one's level 10. And meanwhile, Paparazzi, he was in this weird position where he was kind of committing for that. You notice at bottom, he's like, do I leave here? I don't have mana, but I'm down here.
The rest of his team thought it was still on.
Yeah, the rest of his team is like, I mean, when you commit that many heroes at that point, you have to make something happen.
Yabsaw, he finds Dogfights. The Sentry Ward's a little bit too far away, but Yabsaw can get him back behind the tier 2 tower. And who does he want? Like, he kind of wants Paparazzi. But Vendetta will wear off in a second. Rolling Boulder forward. They can see him. Spy Carapace stunning over onto the Earth Spirit. Turns on the Magnetize. And already mid 1 starts his TP out in July.
Oh, he's
he
out.
used his Void so early on. And Puppy is just going to try and do this solo. I believe he kills Super unless Super denies himself.
Super
the
needs to die to
Maledict
something.
pop will actually... He's running away from the Golems. He got one last hit on a Wild Wing before he died.
Yeah. Actually, he thought for sure that there's no way that the 9 damage golems are going to kill him. So he was trying to suicide to the 22 damage tiny wild wings.
It looked like he had enough, like he was low enough life. The 9 Golems may have actually killed him.
He had like 20 health. It would have been really close. I think he probably can't get a deny off anyways.
Well, so you just traded what? It's Yabsaw and Puppy for Super.
Oh, definitely worth it. But the bigger prize was that they almost killed mid one. Oh, they were so close to that. That would have been so huge for IGV, but fortunately mid one gets away. Secret still doing a very good job of splitting around the map, especially with this Kezu Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, they're just everywhere. Prophet can keep the split push going. MP's enjoying his time. In fact, he's enjoying it so much They want to go for Roshan. There's no Metamorphosis for 72 seconds for Paparazzi. Adaya does scan, so they understand the fact that Team Secret are around Roshan. And in fact, Yabsor just goes for a bit of a wander. Under the cover of his own sentry ward, I'm seeing dust on dogfights.
They gotta get here faster, Toby.
The illusion's kicking in. They are on their way. Roshan's only down to 50%, and now Yapsor gets the initial stun over on Earthspirit. It's nice balls to play. The Paralyzing Cast does not bounce, but the Brewmaster already comes off. This is a better controlling find here for IGV until MP just starts the Stone Gaze. Team Secret able to back away while IGV sit there stoned. Puppy quickly set up in towards the air. He's going to hit the ground, trying to reach close enough to get to his shrine. It won't happen. Super has the Ether Shock to find the kill, but now again, it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. You've committed big abilities, but haven't stopped Roshan fully. Team Secret can just come back.
Yeah, you've wasted the wards. The Brewmaster split once again committed for the second time for Puppy, and now it's Team Secret's time to weigh whether they go in again. Metamorphosis is about to be up though, and that's a scarier ability. Out of all the ones that they didn't use, Metamorphosis is going to be the big one. That's going to be what allows them to defend this, if they so choose. So Secret, realizing that, Yapsor gonna dodge that kick.
And jumped inside the Vendetta, even though he's dusted, he's far enough away. In July, gonna find Kezu. Starts with a silence, has no friends. In fact, oh, where are the friends of Team Secret? Poppy's on his way, puts the Sprout down. In July can't reach him, he takes to the sky. Able to get him over the top of the Sprout. Yapsor stunned, didn't come fast enough, and Puppy, and able to get the Paralyzing Cask off. So a good solo kill here for In July.
Yep. That's a really big one too. That's a 5,800 net worth Nature's Prophet. In July needed something like that because right now, objective-wise, they're falling quite behind. This bottom tower usually would be the play, but the lane isn't quite pushed out yet, as Paparazzi's going to accomplish that for his team. At the same time, they do have a Terrorblade, so I think they feel comfortable for most aspects of this game. They might think that the TB is enough. But keep in mind, this is a single core Terrorblade. Like, you don't have these heavy hitting cores, physical damage dealers on the side of IGV. It's entirely this Terrorblade.
I'm actually wondering if Terrorblade will be enough. Like, up against Medusa split shot, like, Drow Rangers have normally built into Maelstrom as well, so she's going to have some clearance.
Yeah, especially with the Tesla Drow, with the Ags.
Yep. Oh, that is so good.
It's cool.
Yep.
That was my favorite. Remember when it was really commonplace?
Yep.
Oh, that was my favorite. But now games just kind of end. Yeah. And it looks like Secret, you know, they're saying to themselves, okay guys, we can force the issue. They don't take towers very fast on the side of IGV, aside from this Terrorblade, who can just be stopped by one Nature's Prophet ultimate.
Actually kind of surprised they gave the Aegis Immortal to MP.
Oh, here we go.
Like a large portion of their aura. In fact, MP now TP's out to the bottom lane. Paparazzi's adding too much pressure. Mystic Snake is enough to remove like 1/3 of his HP, and he runs away.
I will say, I feel like they should have just regathered into mid right after that, because if you notice, Paparazzi had blown his Metamorphosis, and that's such an important ability for them.
You're a big fan of Drow Rangers who bypass finishing Hurricane Pike?
Yeah, I am. I hate that item.
You don't like the full Hurricane?
No, I hate that item. Because it's such a heavy investment into so little. Alright, so let's take a look. Total cost of Hurricane Pike. And we'll hold that down real fast.
Yeah, might have a look a little bit later. Silence is on mid one, but the kick won't connect. The rolling bolt is too far away. Okay, we can go back into the look.
Alright, so it's 4,600. So nearly 5k. For an item that... It's alright, but at the same time, think about it. Like, the annoying function of it is that it's a 4-staff, essentially, right?
Yep.
Like, you're mainly building it because you have the Dragon Lance and you're trying to fill up item slots.
But where do you get your regeneration from, apart from, in this case, a Witch Doctor?
You don't need to. You've got a wand.
True.
You're alright. It's such a heavy commitment. It's like an additional... It's an additional nearly 3,000 gold just to get a 4-staff added to yourself. And if you need the 4-staff component, then... I remember when Envy was our coach in Kiev, he would just say, if you need the 4-staff component of it, instead of building the Dragon Lance and a Hurricane Pike, just build the 4-staff.
Fair enough.
And Paparazzi, remember we talked about it, this Metamorphosis, this is why I wanted them to regroup mid faster. This is why, because without Metamorphosis, it's really hard for them to defend. It's not the wards or anything that scares you, it's the Terrorblade meta.
Oh, jump in from behind, a blink clap right on top of the Nature's Prophet. The kick, it connected on Witch Doctor as well as Yamsor. They're silenced for the moment. Puppey can't really do a lot to stop this. Finally now the Paralyzing Cask will fly out, and the Maledict on the Earth Spirit. He'll have to back himself away, but Puppey will die to the Magnetize, not to mention all the Brewlings that are around him. He just cannot regenerate fast enough. And mid one, trapped in by Paparazzi. He TP'd out to the shrine, so they can be right on top of him. Yapsor,
oh, the double
space
stun.
creation!
Where's the Sunder?
Where is it? The Wrath of Nature will kill him off! Sunder can't kick in, he wasn't ready for the burst damage, and now with the Sprout from Kezu, and the Bloody Block from the trees, in July can't run away. He actually has the Hunter in the night, but he's not going up. They'll lose everybody from IGV. Team Secret win the fight
Kezu
for one buyback!
Is so good at Dota. I can't even begin to... It's such a basic play, but the Terrorblade thinks to himself, I'm gonna churn the shit out of this fight. Like, everyone's gonna die here. The sun, like, mid-animation, Kezu gets that ultimate off. You see the buyback coming, you know it's coming, but at the same time, he's just desperate for it. He has no other recourse. If he gets that Sunder off onto that Drow Ranger, they pop him, then maybe they can kite MP. Because the Nature's Prophet TPing in does nothing. You see how quickly he dies in every fight.
Yep.
But you need to kill that Drow Ranger. They just barely stop him from being able to get that Sunder off. That is... You're going to get a win out of that. That is a game-winning play. That's a full set of racks mid. You got an entire team wipe off of one value buyback. You might even get this bottom tower for it too.
They're going again, but they just smoked on top of the Observer Ward that was planted inside the base. So IGV...
They know there's no split though.
Yeah,
but it is coming up soon.
Have they got an Observer Ward for the cliffside? They don't. Instead, they have Kezu. They have Yapsor, Sentry, and Dust committed. Dust does clip the Nyx Assassin.
They can't get out. This is an awkward
They hold the
position.
shrine, rolling boulder in! Dogfight just wants to go for it. He gets the double kick onto Kezu as well as onto MP. And maybe with the Brewmaster split, the TP is already gone. MP wants out of this one. He has the Aegis the Immortal. He can fight a second time if he wants to. Getting just far enough away from the Mass Serpent. They won't bring in the damage. Yapsor stun. Brewlings as well as in July.
Oh, look at that
out from Puppey. The Sprout holds him there. The Brewling will send Puppey in towards the air. But in July, affected by Maledict, he'll die from the last tick. Nothing can save him from this. He'll go down. You can welcome Sakatara into the end of life as well. Mass Serpent also running underneath. The mid one wants kills. He moves under the cover of his Shadow Blade, but they can just push the bottom lane instead.
Oh, that was so well done by Secret. You notice they can't really get out at that point because Medusa is such an immobile hero that they're going to turn and fight. They know it. They're going to bait this MP hero up at front. Kezu gets that TP out at the last second. In July, for half a second, saw him. Could have avoided. Doesn't get it off in time. Instead, Kezu, they take so long to kill Puppey every single engagement. It takes them so long. With this Solar Crest, he just runs in a circle. They're all chasing after him. They have to blow the majority of their cooldowns just to get him down. This is going to be a second lane of racks. 2 lanes of racks down at 21 minutes. This game has gone absolutely bonkers. IG Vitality, I mean, just look at the cliff. XP earned was slightly in their favor. Just 3 minutes ago even. Net worth, it was looking okay.
Yeah, it wasn't
2,000-3,000 gold,
terrible.
no problem.
It was manageable.
And the majority of that comes on the heels of towers.
Yeah.
And you can get those back later. You've got a Terrorblade, but losing back-to-back fights like that, getting double raxed, Secret, all they need is a tiny little shove. I think it's going to come in the form of the second Aegis.
Yeah. So we just watched the countdown time for that, and he could be up at about 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
And already Medusa is becoming invulnerable. She just picked up a Talisman of Evasion. The Butterfly is 3,300 away from completing for MP. So then they got no direct attack, and Terrorblade is not building it. Like right now, he's still trying to finish his range upgrade. He's still trying to get the Dragonlance after finishing up Manta Style.
Because he needs cheap health right now, more than anything.
Yep.
Hurricane Pike is finished by the Drow. I'm okay with it being the... like the...
After Shadow Blade?
Because if you just go straight up for it, you don't deal damage. You're just a Drow with a Force Staff.
It seems to work out a lot nicer to also escape from the Brewlings, get yourself some distance away from the attackers.
But that's why you have Shadow Blade.
Yeah. But right now he's using Shadow Blade to initiate, get in on the front lines, and then get that silence off. Because he's the starting silencer.
Yeah. They don't really have the best way to jump fights if you look at their team.
Yep.
They don't even have a blink Nyx. They sort of just wait for IG Vitality to get a little bit too over-aggressive.
That's what I was wondering, like the laning phase could have been a lot better for IGV, and if it was, Team Secret wouldn't be able to do what they're doing now.
No, I completely agree. I mean, they kind of ran down this draw once or twice, but for the most part, she never died, right? She got low. She just kind of ran away. Everyone's like, all right.
She's 108, so yep.
You don't have to have the flashiest games on draw to win. You just need to be alive, give your team the aura, push in waves with your team when they're ready to go. But Secret, they're going to push in this top area, stick together as 5. We thought they'd wait for the next Roshan, or at least I did, which is coming up relatively soon.
They made us do the range harass, and this is a freebie. In July, I don't know if he just missed micro, but he was sitting outside the base.
Oh, he gets
the Sunder from Paparazzi, but then the Paralyzing Cask bounces up to him. In July, it's going to go down. Even with the Shrine, maybe the regeneration will be enough.
They're
and they
just
trigger a
popping all of them.
secondary Shrine. Keep In July alive is now the mission.
That is 2 shrines. That's very important for this base defense.
And they're the close ones for the top lane.
There's no Sunder up either. They know that for 60 seconds.
Look
and
how
that is a
fast he gets
significant
back.
cooldown.
He actually TP'd out to the edge of the battle, so
Oh,
they
here
could
we
try
go.
and fight
Yamsor
this
spots
one.
all of this.
Oh, the sentry's down, but it's too late. Yamsor make it hexed up, but the Paralyzing Cask is locking down Super, and in July, they just can't fight. The Bruise Splitter's out, but once again, they're trying to kill off Puppey, and they can't do it. You can buy back, and maybe you'll have a
they're all
second
inning
chance.
for him.
The Gust is out. Night Stalker can't cast anything.
They're all
Stopped
hitting
by
him.
Yamsor. They're just throwing bodies at the wall, but all they're doing is painting it with blood. Dogfights is down. Terrorblade
They're
comes
still
through
going
front,
for him.
and finally, Puppey, yes! Victory achieved! The game is done! GG! IGV obviously win now, as GG is called out. All they wanted was Puppey. Oh, he's a desirable man. IGV got what they wanted.
You know those
They lost
games?
the game.
You know those games where you're a support player and they ravage black hole, like they use everything, and you just type a question mark after they lose the fight for that?
Yep.
That is what Puppey should have done, because this sheer amount of spells that they dropped on him every single. It started with that bottom juke. That tilted them.
Yep.
They're like, we'll never let you live again.
This will not stand. You have insulted IGV's brand for the last time.